Molokai, who's your next testifier, please?
The next testifier is Kalani Ua Ritte.
Okay, I have our next person to please share his testimony.
Okay, aloha, my name is Ua Ritte. Born, raised, and down Molokai. Hopefully not soon, and hopefully not of cancer. But yeah, aloha, everybody. I just think ask why, why these multi-billion-dollar corporations gotta be around our schools? Why they gotta be testing the pesticides around our schools and around homes? Can they do it somewhere else? Okay, they're gonna tell you why they're doing this because jobs. They're gonna provide jobs. Okay, some people will come up here and tell you science is why they're doing this. Why they're around our schools and around our homes. Okay, some people gonna tell you that they're feeding the world, and that's why they're around schools and homes. Okay, that's not why they're around schools and homes. They're around because they're greedy. Okay. It's not about the workers here. This is not about nobody here. This is about CEOs that's 3,000 miles away in the boardroom looking at Molokai like on a chart and numbers. That's all it is, Molokai to them. They're looking at the charts and they're looking at their pocketbooks, okay? They want to make $10 million instead of $1 million. They want to have 5 houses instead of 1 house, okay? That's why they're spraying poisons around our schools and around people's houses. They're greedy. They shouldn't have come up above the highway. They should have stayed south where nobody stayed, the wind blowing in that direction. I don't think we would have had this much, that kind of heads banging. But no, they had to push the issue. They had to come around schools. They had to come around houses. So I think it's greed. I think these CEOs, they're like 5 cars instead of 1, 10 mistresses instead of just 1. You know what I mean? And if you know what happens when you have these companies, they're not doing production-based agriculture, but they're doing research-based agriculture, which means they spray more pesticides than the production-based guys. So why? Why? You look at Kauai, and then you're going to know what happens, you know. That's all the guys who don't work for a company, what it's like living around these fields, you know. Ask all the doctors who came to testify about their experiences with pesticide exposure in these communities around the fields. Ask the scientists who came and testified about all these pesticides and the side effects that they cause. You line them up: cancer, diabetes, fat, obesity. All these line up with those pesticides that they spray. So if you get cancer, you know, it shouldn't surprise you. You know,
2.5 minutes.
Tons of toxic chemicals that cause cancer near you. Of course, you're gonna get cancer. You know, so it's all about greed, bro. And I don't think it's right for us to put our kids at risk for these people's greed. Yeah, you like do your science things, you like test, you like spray. Go spray someplace with nobody around. And I think that's a fair compromise. So yeah, thank you and aloha.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, any questions for the gentleman's testimony for clarification? Having none, thank you very much for your comments. We'll go to Hana office. Ms. Lono, anyone interested in sharing testimony?
The Hana office has no one waiting to testify, Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Fernandez, anyone on Lanai?
There is no one waiting to testify on Lanai.
Thank you. Ms. Alcon, Molokai, please.
The next testifier is Scott Adams.
Okay, thank you.
Aloha Kaua, Delina, aloha aina. My name is Kauhani Adams. I'm a 3rd generation Hawaiian homesteader and born and raised over here. But I've been trained in Western agricultural practices all my life. I was vice president of Future Farmers of America. I got a 4-year degree in horticulture. And after I learned all that, I realized that Western type of agriculture, agribusiness, is not good for the land and the people. But put the science on the side. Yeah, all the science on the side. This is about being good neighbors. Yeah, letting your neighbor what's going on, letting your neighbor know what's going on upwind from him. That's what it's about. It's about having one choice to know what's affecting my children. I have 5 girls. One of them autistic. I don't know if that's from all your chemicals that they're spraying out there. But I know that 2,4-D and stuff like that is very, very harmful to the environment. And being that we're the apex predator in the food chain, everything going to end up in us. So anyway, put the science on the side. I just say be good neighbors. When I burn fire, I ask my neighbors, you know, that I burning fire. If it's corner wind or going to blow into the house, I know burn fire. So it's just about being good neighbors and letting everybody know what they're doing. Mahalo.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Any questions for the gentleman? Having none, thank you for being here. Next, MOLOKA'I.
The next testifier is Hanohano Naehu.
Thank you.
My name is Hanohano Naehu, born and raised on the island of Molokai. I'd just like to remind all the workers that we don't have a problem with you guys. We never had. I'm going to read you something. It might take me a little bit over 3 minutes, but I know Lindy Quaid went over. So I'm going to try to read fast. Is chemical agriculture good for an island like us? A young local Hawaiian man, a paramedic in his early 30s, walks toward the microphone at a Kauai County Council meeting on Bill 2491. Bill 2491 is a proposed law that makes the chemical agriculture companies on the island let the community know when they are spraying, what they are spraying, and creates a 500-foot buffer around any fields that are next to residences and schools. He approaches the microphone with his cap pulled down and in obvious sadness when he says, "My name is Chad Pa. Sorry if I'm emotional, but this really hits home for me. I'm speaking on behalf of my girlfriend and my unborn son. I'm going to share with you guys a story of what's been going on with me." He sobs and pulls his cap a little lower and continues. "My son has a condition called gastroenteritis, and basically means his stomach will be on the outside when he is born. So I had to fly my girlfriend up to Arizona where they can perform the surgery, and I've been working here without them for 2 months. I've been doing my research about what causes this, and I came across 4 other friends of mine who have the same condition. It breaks my heart that we have to go through this, because I don't come here to point fingers. I don't come here to fight. I don't want to segregate anybody, but something is wrong with this. There is too many coincidences." He adjusts himself in his seat as he fights back tears and says, "Sorry, I'm just trying to read this. Gastroenteritis has been more commonly found in the islands of Hawaii, and there have been several studies of scientists linking gastroenteritis to the chemical atrazine. This chemical is sprayed here more than any other place on the planet. Molokai. This is an example of what's been happening on the islands of Hawaii because of exposure to chemical agriculture. Though chemical agriculture is beneficial in making food cheap and providing some jobs, unfortunately those happy benefits do not outweigh the harmful effects of chronic diseases linked to diet and exposure, non-sustainable farming practices, and mistrust of a company who is responsible for farmer indebtedness that has led to suicide. Molokai has become a chemical testing site for some of the largest chemical industrial agriculture companies on the planet. And the concern is how will all that pesticide, herbicide, and insecticide have on our island and community? The known negative effects of Monsanto's Roundup on human health and the environment have been firmly established by numerous scientific studies and large-scale investigations, with scientists even linking the best-selling herbicide to conditions like infertility, cancer, all due to its genotoxic, DNA-damaging nature. The community of Molokai's concern has always been the pesticide use and the effects of it. Everyone speaking on behalf of the company has always said there is nothing wrong with what they are doing and everything is safe. But the concern is I have family that works for these companies and vouch with their lives that they wouldn't be doing this work if they weren't sure that it was safe. But a global medicine issue stated
3 minutes.
Agricultural chemicals are used heavily in farming to control pests. And while all pesticides can harm humans, insecticides and herbicides cause the most human poisoning. Pesticides pose an even higher risk to children than to adults. Due to a combination of play behavior in and around fields, take-home residues from family members, residents in proximity to farmland, and even by direct agriculture work, children may be subject to substantial long-term pesticide exposure and harm. There are a number of cornfield workers who say, I come in direct contact with these pesticides and see no ill effects from it. What they do not understand is that these types of chemicals are chronic poisons, which means it slowly shuts everything down. These types of pesticides like Roundup are the #1 choice of suicide in South America and Asia. Farming on lands with the highest evaporation rates in the state, using over 4.5 million gallons per day from an island single-source aquifer on inedible crops.
Okay, you're going to need to conclude your testimony. You can have a sentence. You cannot maintain decorum in here. We're going to change the rules.
Hey, thank you. I'll be submitting this and many more stuff into the dispatch. But Molokai, we got to be smart. Cannot poison our place. That's like killing ourselves.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, any questions for the gentleman that shared his testimony? Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Next testifier, Molokai. Ms. Alkan, you can have a...
Testifier is Tanya Naehu.
Okay, thank you.
Aloha, my name is Tanya Marie Mailelani Naehu. I am a Hawaiian woman born and raised in Hawaii who wears many hats. As a kumu, a wife, a sister, a daughter, an artist, a hula dancer, and a mother of 3 beautiful keiki. Today I'm here as a mother that is concerned about the future of her babies. My 2 older children attend school in the Kuala Pu'u and Ho'olehua areas of Moloka'i. These ahupua'a have been the center of Molokai's ever-changing agricultural industry, from sugar to pineapple to coffee, and now bioengineering of corn seeds and most recently soy. The amount and types of pesticides used in these fields have me worried every day that I send my keiki off to school. I keep telling myself, pesticide, herbicide, insecticide, homicide, suicide. They all end with the same suffix, C-I-D-E, side. So as a kumu, I was inclined to look it up, and here it is. Side, C-I-D-E, combining form, means denoting a person or substance that kills, as in the term insecticide. Second definition, denoting an act of killing, as in the term homicide. My heart began to race as thoughts my heart began to race as these thoughts went through my head upon this finding. First, am I a good mother for sending my babies to this death zone every day? Why isn't the DOE addressing this if the responsibility is not to only educate our keiki but create a safe and nurturing environment? How can everyone for this that is pro this type of agriculture ignore the fact that poison is being used in ridiculously profuse amounts to test the tolerance of these seeds that will eventually get shipped off to feed the world? Why are they destroying our soil, air, and groundwaters? What will be left for a legacy of this era? I understand that this is a bill to make use and amounts of usage to be more transparent, and I guess that's a start. But I don't think it's enough. Is the price of a few casualties okay as long as we have some kind of economy? How long will we wait before the damage is irreparable? We who are against the concept of bioengineering and genetically modified organisms, for the most part, are not getting any type of money. No type of personal gain.
2.5 minutes.
Just some hope that we can provide a better future for our keiki. Some may argue that these companies help to put food on the table and pay the bills. Why can't we come together and think of another way to build economic and food security for our people rather than putting all of our efforts into these companies who have a reputation of coming into small towns, making big money, and leaving in 10 to 20 years, and only leaving behind a legacy of tainted soils, lost loved ones who may have died of some rare disease or cancer, and a whole bunch of people on unemployment. So I guess this bill is a stepping stone, and I am in support of it if it means that the truth may be revealed eventually. My babies are my life. I would die for them. If it meant that they would be safe from harm, So please hear my prayers and my pleas to ensure a safer future for all of Hawaii's keiki. Mahalo nui me ka ha'aha'a. He kuliana no ka kopono e malama aina. Malama ke kahi a me malama aina keiki a mau. Mahalo.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, any questions for the lady that shared her thoughts with the committee? Okay, having none, thank you very much, Molokai, for your testimony.